Give me a moment. Houston, we're ready. For questions, we're ready. Roderick, how you doing? Oh no. I guess you're right. This isn't going to be a long one though. But yeah, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Hey, Michael J. Spencer. I might have to, I actually don't know how I can do that. I can't switch spaceships while I'm live. But, hey, Bill Stegman. Let's see here. I could, but you guys would see how I do it. Sometimes. Oh, I know what I can do. Yeah, you guys will see it. Whoa, I unplugged my mic. Or my headphones. I have to make myself smaller. Okay, how do I get this plugged back in? Oh, I forgot. We can't be here. We're up in space. Okay. See, I have this nice little cloak that I got put on. Pay no attention to the man that before me. Okay. Whoa. Do you see the screen behind me? It's flat. Paul Levi, Bill Stegman again, Nez Lover, and Stegman again. It's flat like a pancake. What are you doing with that mic in your hand? I could do a different scene. Let's try a different scene. Oops, I always do that. Okay, let's see here. Where's this other scene? How'd you like that sneaky switch, huh? So I could do this, or I could grow my neck out. And be like this. I used to play football. Hello, Idaho. Marlo. Enrico's tinfoil sombrero. I like that name. Yeah, so anyway. What is the questions? There's got to be some questions. Bill Stegman already asked me what I'm doing with that mic in my hand. I'm flipping it. Because I'm in space. You guys, space is not orbiting a globe. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. There was darkness upon the face of the deep, and in 2021, it's a prison. I'm up here right now. Whoa. Really makes a big difference. Maybe I bumped a button. Let's see. We could do... I think I should change rooms, you know, from room to room inside the ISS because, you know. But sometimes you gotta take a rocket up. Yeah. I don't know what these dweebs are doing wearing helmets. Wait, we'll get some passengers. Yeah, I forgot about that. Bill Nye's never ridden. Oh, wrong page. Bill Nye. I was trying to do some weird stuff. Look, he's looking out the window. He's like, oh, I was wrong. Who else have we got here? Oh, here, this is perfect. Elon Musk. No, that's not a good one. I'm just finding some. Okay, we got questions. Hold on, we need to get Simon Dan with us. There we go. All right. Questions. Neck is funnier? Like that. Maybe I should make myself a little bigger than these guys just to, you know, I'm boss up here. I'm just kidding. Okay. Dan, you don't have to be... Is that the right way to look? Dan, you don't have to be scared. I promise. We're not going anywhere. We are going to outer darkness. So, I was just on Modern Day Debate, and I couldn't really answer the guy's arguments. Not that it really changes anything, but there are some things that the way we would understand the flat earth, it makes it hard to understand sunlight. But like I was telling, Life was his name. It's spelled like leaf, L-E-I-F, I think. He was saying, is this rocket too loud for you guys? He was saying they're presenting some good information that I can't really answer. I don't know enough about it. But maybe I'm not as educated, but I don't need to be. Some of the things, oh wait, we forgot our NASA logo. Oh, that's wrong page again. Sorry. This is actually not a NASA rocket, you know. This is actually, I'm trying to keep that thing so it stops swinging so much. This is a Russian Soyuz rocket. Hey, I feel like reading a Bible verse to you guys. There was a live stream going, maybe it's still going, on, I think it was on Kingdom in Context channel with a bunch of cool guys talking about the mark of the beast. But, so that's interesting to me, obviously. Excuse me. I had to take my hand out of my glove there for a minute. But one thing those guys probably should consider, because it's like they don't want to talk about it or something. Read Isaiah 14 verse 9 out loud once. And think of who's coming. Who do we expect to come in the clouds? Certainly not me, right? The astronaut me in this rocket. Think about it. So, you know, in Revelation it says that sorry, just had to stretch my neck out a little bit. It says that where was I? In Revelation. I remember saying that much. Let me think about it. Oh, I was going to read you a Bible verse. Let me see if I can get it up on my computer here, on my console screen of this rocket. So this is a Russian rocket that we're riding on, me and Dan and Bill. Bill's over there, trying to kiss the window. I don't know why. What a weirdo. See, like that's one thing that Simon Dan probably doesn't realize. I'm not looking at him. I'm looking somewhere else. I'm looking at the console. It probably looks like I'm looking at him. Right, Dan? But I'm not. I'm just trying to one page through my Bible, really. Okay. So in Daniel chapter 7, I just want to read you a little verse, because it reminds me of this rocket right here that I'm riding on. It really does, and I'm having a hard time getting there. Okay, we're there. Okay. So let me get rid of this here. Okay, there we go. And I can't get rid of this box. We haven't taken off yet, apparently. I don't know. Anyway, so just in Daniel 7, he was shown a vision. Whoops. I'm not supposed to do that. He was shown a vision of the future. And he saw 4 beasts in this vision, right? And so he's describing what he's seeing, okay? And it was just interesting to me when I realized that this is a Russian rocket. And for a long time, for 9 years, it was the only way that astronauts would go to the ISS, because the space shuttle had been shut down. It had been, they weren't flying the space shuttle anymore, so NASA basically had to buy tickets from Russia for 9 years. And then just last year or whatever, they sent a Dragon. See what this is one thing the guys over on Kingdom in Context should be considering exactly what I'm talking about right now. Now they take a Dragon up to the space station, and the Dragon also resupplies that space station with all the goods it needs, all the food and all the everything that they need. It gives it its power to keep going. It's a resupply cargo vehicle. And it's also now a crew cab, or a crew, what do they call it? Capsule. So it's not like my idea or something. This is happening in the world, guys. There's a Dragon flying in the sky. And all you have to do is just go to your Google, type in SpaceX Dragon. I can't do that right now. Whoa, I just had a cool idea. Yeah, that's a cool idea. Oh, I can't do that. I can show you a video. Yeah, I can show you a video. Let's see. I got an idea. It'll take me a second. But while I'm trying to explain that, or while I'm trying to find that, I'm not a multitasking astronaut, so we'll put this up there for now, because it's probably important. I'm just kidding. But think about what you're seeing on the screen right now. You're seeing 3 astronauts packed in like sardines into a teeny little capsule, right? With their knees up in their face. And actually, I gotta move this now. If this picture wasn't here, I want you to pay attention to these big, huge bags that are surrounding these guys. You got to look at what it looks like, okay? Daniel said the first beast he saw, I'll just read you the verse. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked. And, it's the second beast that I was talking about, but we'll read the first one anyway, because I think the first one's a space shuttle. Listen to this one. What the space shuttle looked like, right? Let me see if I can. Wonder if I. You know how they'd tip it up on its side, and it would launch from like a standing position, and it would go straight up in the sky, and then it would land like with wings. Do you guys remember that? But I'll read that verse again. So the first one he saw, that's not the one I'm in, I don't think. You'll see what I mean. The first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted from the earth. Lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. So I don't know. But then listen to this next one. And behold, that means to look. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear. And it raised itself up on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said, thus unto it, arise, arise, devour much flesh. Are you going to be devoured by this curse? Yeah, this is a curse. Space exploration is a curse. It's the curse. We can read about it in Zechariah. If I turn there. I'm just saying. I'm trying to point out, you know, there's a I'm not a real astronaut. I'm just actor-naut. And my message is different than most of the astronauts, because my message is against going into heaven, God's tabernacle, or the sky. That's what I think. I've actually learned it. So this angel in Zechariah 5, give me a minute. Oh, red alert, red alert. Sorry. I was eating a popsicle earlier, and it was starting to melt really bad. Okay. On my console, I looked it up. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes." That means to look up. Oh, look at, they're not receiving enough data. Houston. Oh, they want me to get back into the space station. All right. Wait a minute. Red alert. We got a video communication coming in. Oh, I don't know what that is. Must just be a screen of the other rocket. What is this now? What is this? The smell of space? What is this?
As soon as they wanted to open the hatch, the cosmonaut and astronaut who were with me told me, "Are you ready for the smell of space? Because it's a very unique smell, and this is the only time you can smell it." So I was ready there, and they opened the hatch, and I took a good whiff, and it smelled something like a burnt cookie. And I kept telling them, "It feels weird. It's very
People are
unique."
baking in space.
I know.
When they opened the hatch, did Dragon have that new car smell?
See, I told you it was a dragon. They rode up on a dragon.
It absolutely did. In fact, there was a little bit of space smell in the vestibule, and then when we got that hatch open, you could tell it was a brand new vehicle. Space smell.
Things don't smell the same.
Their burnt steak and gunpowder smell that many astronauts report in the airlock. That's one of the few smells you can smell strongly.
You're inside the spaceship most of the time. The only time you can smell space is when you come back in from a spacewalk. And as you repressurize the airlock and open the hatch, there's a distinctive smell to it. And it smells a little bit like being on a shooting range, like that sort of lingering gunpowder cordite smell. So maybe a little bit like brimstone. A little bit like brimstone. That's what it smells like.
Shouldn't smell
Owen
like that.
from San Francisco says, "They say that the sense of smell creates the strongest memories for a person. What does the ISS smell like, and what scent do you miss on Earth?"
You hearing this, Dan?
No, the ISS, we've got a really good filtering system. There's air flowing. In fact, everything you hear when you're up here is fans going and air circulating. So we're constantly getting a fresh supply of oxygen. We're constantly getting the carbon dioxide scrubbed and all the other things filtered out. So it really doesn't smell, although when we first docked with the shuttle, there was a noticeable smell, but you get accustomed to it very quickly, so I can't tell anything anymore.
Sorry, guys.
There's one smell up here that's
Communication problems. I'm sure it'll come back in here.
really unique, though, and that is the smell. We just call it the smell of space, but we experience it when I haven't had a chance to do a spacewalk yet. I'm still waiting and hoping for that. But when other guys did and they came back in, after we repressurized and opened up the volume for them to come back into the station, there's this really strong metallic smell.
What did he say? What did he say? When they open the airlock, so anytime that they go out into this blackness, this darkness, this abyss of darkness, this bottomless pit of darkness, this is what it smells like. I sure wish the guys over at Kingdom in Context that are talking, because those are cool guys, I just wish they would understand this, and I don't think they will, but I don't know how you could be blind to it. The abyss is not under the earth, guys. It's not physical. Is Sheol a physical place? No. It is where your spirit goes. Your body stays here about 6 feet deep. Sheol, in all these pictures that we see on the internet, the depictions of the Hebrew cosmology, Sheol is underneath the earth, in the heart of the earth. So I don't know anything other than you best read Isaiah 14 verse 9. Because that says hell is moved from beneath to meet thee at thy coming. Someone's coming, guys. A kingdom's coming. And these evil spirits get excited, and Sheol swallows up the sinners even before he gets here. Even before he comes. They're doing it right now. Listen to this.
Strong metallic smell. And I don't know exactly what it is. Something to do with maybe atomic oxygen interacting with the suit materials, or we're not exactly sure what it is.
We do know that it smells like brimstone, spent gunpowder, a really strong metallic smell. It's unique, distinct, and it's only when they repressurize and are exposed to the spacesuit, basically.
It's a very distinct smell, and it's the smell of space. It's really cool.
When you come in from a spacewalk, you're surrounded by the emptiness of space. It's sort of like the opposite of air. There's nothing there at all. When you quickly repressurize the hatch and you open up the hatch and you smell...
Okay, we're going to play that again. Sorry, guys. I was turning my volume up and my computer's at its limit, I think. And it even says that it's not smooth streaming, so I apologize for that.
Of space. It's sort of like the opposite of air. There's nothing there at all. When you quickly repressurize the hatch and you open up the hatch and you smell, what is that lingering smell from a place that used to be exposed to space? The smell in there is a little bit like that trace of a smell of gunpowder or burnt steak, or sort of like brimstone, like a witch has just been there. It's a cool lingering trace of a smell. I think what it really is, brimstone, like sort of that metallic gunpowder fired smell, like a witch.
What do you say, Dan? What does this say? Oh. And he will imprison those angels who have shown unrighteousness in that burning valley which my grandfather Enoch had formerly shown to me in the west among the mountains of gold and silver and iron and soft metal and tin. And I saw that valley in which there was a great convulsion, and a convulsion of the waters. And when all this took place, from that fiery molten metal and from the convulsion thereof in that place, there was produced a smell of sulfur, and it was connected with those waters. And that valley of the angels who had led astray mankind burned beneath that land. And through its valleys proceed streams of fire, where these angels are punished, who had led astray those who dwell upon the earth. What great channel.
And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. and the evening and the morning were the second day.
The weird part about it is space is so incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit of deep black, almost so deep it almost has a texture when you look at it. And
Even darkness which may be felt.
Oh, that's a good channel there. You guys should subscribe to that channel. Okay, whoops, wrong one. So, the smell of space, that's creepy. I'm just telling you. Enoch said that there's dark waters that were connected with the smell of sulfur. You know what it says at the end of that chapter? That was Enoch 67. Go read it for yourself. I'm just telling you what it says. I didn't write it. The very last verse says that those waters will turn into a fire which burns forever. You guys have heard of the lake of fire, right? It's up there. And it's gonna rain down here. That's why the truth is here. And that's why prepare yourself. That's all I can say. Prepare yourself. Actually, I think I have a video that I could play on this little TV screen if I find it. Let me find it. I think it's called Prepare Yourself. It is called Prepare Yourself, but I gotta find it. It wasn't in that folder. Let's see here. Might be here. Oh, by the way, do you guys, you know what Lucifer says in his heart? That he's gonna ascend into heaven. Ascend into heaven. What do rockets do, guys? What do rockets do? Do they ascend into heaven? Here, watch this. I might have to make the screen bigger and cover up myself here for a minute, but it's a short video. Hold on, I can't do that, you guys. I didn't know it was gonna do that. Let me get rid of these two goons. Whoops. See you later, Dan. Oh, wrong button. Later, Dan. Later, what's this guy's name? Bill Nye. Whew, see ya, dude. Alright, I'm gonna start that video over again. That just was not my plan. I thought they'd be on a different layer. So, let's watch this video. Let's see. That was you, Roderick. I was gonna reply to you, but I couldn't. I guess I can't. Do you guys realize that there's a spacecraft for several years now, 8 years or something now, that's been bringing cargo to and from the space station to support it, and it's called a Dragon. That's what they've referred to it. When the first time they attached the Dragon to their, guess who it was? It was Don. What's his name? That one goon. He said we've destroyed that technology. I can't remember his name. I don't know why, because it's easy to remember. Anyway, he said, we've captured a dragon, something like that. It was like a famous line because it was the first time an American commercial company ever made it in up there. Get it? So John said he saw a dragon up in the sky. He told us like it had 7 heads and 10 horns. He told us what some of these things look like, but this all makes sense too. Because see this vehicle? I'm going to zoom in on it. See this vehicle right here? Whoops, I guess I can't move it though. That's a Dragon capsule. We'll get a better view of it in a minute. But they built 10 of those guys. And look at it, it's shaped like a horn. They built 10 of those. And only 10. And then they started building the one that takes the crew up there. And I think that that's all in this story. Or in the scriptures or whatever. And I was going to say, Roderick, you're right. I'm not in space. It is fake. But space isn't fake. It's darkness. You know, it even says in Jude, it even says that, okay, I gotta, sweet, you guys can't see me, so that's good, because I had to take that thing off my neck. We'll watch this video. I'm gonna read some verses after that are pretty crazy. Do you guys see what it says on the screen? I used to not know what that means. What that means at all. How do you have faith in Jesus? I believe that you have to believe in the words that he spoke. The words that came out of his mouth. What were the first words that came out of his mouth that we have a record of in Genesis? What were those words all about? They created everything. If you don't believe those words, I don't think it would. Do you know what I'm saying? There's waters above the earth. That's what he spoke that. And I have faith that he is true. His words are true. He declared them out of his mouth. It says that in Isaiah 48. I'm going to read that. But I used to not know what that meant. How do you trust in Jesus? Or how do you put your faith in Jesus? I now know. It's by believing what he said. Believing him. Believing in him. In Isaiah 48, he said, he spoke all these things. You guys look at this. 48 verse 3, I think. It says, I have declared the former things from the beginning, and they went forth out of my mouth. I showed them, I did them suddenly, and they came to pass. 6 days, he created all matter and everything. It's hard to believe, but so is reality. I mean, if you look around, we have a whole world full of people. Oh, let me see here. I hope you guys can see that on the screen I was playing. I wasn't looking at the chat. Rico's tinfoil sombrero. I don't believe the firmament is crystalline. I believe that that is an idea. But Enoch chapter 8 to you. It's made out of the winds, the four winds. Or they hold up the firmament. And the firmament is darkness. It's a place of darkness. The darkness upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. So above that darkness is where God's throne is. So, let's see here. But so that's my little story about having faith in Jesus Christ. That's what I believe it is. But believe what he said. And follow him, you know. And also, here's another thing. For those of you who think flat earth is crazy, that's fine. But I want to tell you there's a reason why that God showed people in this world that the earth is flat. Because we've been involved in something that is almost like hard to even comprehend how it would be so evil. But I understand why it's so evil. In Jude, verse 13, it says, raging waves of the sea. Remember, there's waters above the earth? Okay, raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. They're imprisoned there, guys. Planets are in a prison of darkness. And like I was saying, Isaiah 14, verse 9, it says, hell from beneath is moved. What does that mean? If something's moved from beneath, where would it be moved to? It's kind of implied. So I'm just sharing that the Bible clearly says that the planets are in a place of darkness, the blackness of darkness forever. Oh, and then it also says in 2 Peter, let's look at that. 2 Peter. Verse 4, it says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell, and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Darkness, guys. And there's more. I just don't know where. I'm just reading to you guys about this place of darkness because people, and myself included, have a hard time comprehending that it's a place called a prison for evil spirits. That's where NASA's going. It's like freaky. There's another one in 2 Peter, but I don't know where it is. But then there's also, I didn't even finish reading Zechariah 5. He sees a flying roll, and this angel tells him it's the curse that goes forth over the face of the whole earth. What's a flying roll that goes over the face of the whole earth, guys? That's the curse that'll enter into the house of every person, or whatever. Into the house of the thief, it says. We'll read that. We gotta read that. I lost my place, though. It makes me want to read so many things in here. Obadiah 1 verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. There's one other place. You know what I was going to do one day? Because it would take me like an hour. It would take me a long time to show you all the places where the only vehicle, because they're clearly saying a vehicle, the only vehicle that like Enoch saw with men riding in it up in the sky was the loudest thing, and it shook the whole heavens. Is there any coincidence there? It's not a coincidence, you guys. Look at the times. Here's Zechariah 5 verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Do you guys understand what that means? It means you don't want to be involved with this curse. This flying roll that goes over the face of the whole earth. Go read it. Go study it. I encourage you to. I'm just bringing them up to you to show you. Okay, then in Jeremiah 51, there's also metal suit of armor going up towards God's throne with, guess what, in it? Yeah, you guessed it. Men. Ezekiel also saw heliocentric men worshiping the sun up in the temple of God, between the porch and the altar or something. In the sky, guys. In the sky. That's where New Jerusalem is. Mount Zion. Okay, Isaiah 51, verse 1. Or no, let's just go right to verse 3. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine. And spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Okay, this is about Babylon. Look at what verse 6 says. Flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Wow. This is right now. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, and had made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. I just gotta say, guys, that Babylon is that darkness. It's that city that Elon Musk and everybody thinks there's free real estate right now. Space. It's a place of evil. It also says it's a dwelling place for dragons, I think. Let me find that. That's a long chapter. Wow. I can't remember that I didn't remember it was that long. I don't know where it says it, but it does. In Jeremiah 51. Oh, here we are. Verse 43. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby. Almost sounds like the astronauts may not be people. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord. So if you're not involved in this this curse, it's purely on your belief, what you believe. Because think about this. If God tells us throughout the Bible that he is in his throne and he's in heaven, let me play a video. I'm going to grab a video and we're going to listen to a bunch of verses that just say where God is. They say it's God saying where he is, okay? And I know they're important. I know it's important to understand or to acknowledge this and to think about it, because when I did, it changed my understanding about what I believe And I realized that if you're believing that planets are a place to go, you're ignoring something. You're ignoring the one who made you. Here, listen to these verses. Psalm 18, verse 9. He bowed the heavens also and came down, and darkness was under his feet. Isaiah 50, verse 3. I clothe the heavens with blackness, and I make sackcloth their covering. Proverbs 30, verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fists? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Deuteronomy 4, verse 11. And ye came near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burned with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, clouds, and thick darkness. Revelation 21, verse 2. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. John 1, verse 32. And John bare record, saying, I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove, and it abode upon him. Deuteronomy 4, verse 39. Know therefore this day, and consider it in thine heart, that the Lord, he is God in heaven above, and upon the earth beneath there is none else. Job 22, verse 12. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold the height of the stars, how high they are. John 3, verse 13. And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. Psalm 102, verse 19. For he hath looked down from the height of his sanctuary. From heaven did the Lord behold the earth. Psalm 115, verse 3. But our God is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Matthew 26, verse 64. Jesus saith unto him, Thou hast said, Nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power, and coming in the clouds of heaven. Did you guys hear that? Sitting at the right hand of power, coming in the clouds of heaven. What's on the screen? Clouds of heaven. Where do rockets go? They go the place Lucifer wants. But it's I asked a question in that Kingdom in Context chat, and it was going pretty fast. There was a lot of people there, so I don't think anybody saw it. But I do have a question. Someone, and I hear this all the time, and I really wonder what people are referring to. They say that Satan was already kicked out of heaven, and I don't know where that happened. I only know about it in Revelation. And Revelation, the context of the whole book of Revelation is it's a future vision. It's a vision of the future. That's what the whole book is. And it's the testimony of Jesus Christ. And he's the spirit of prophecy. So anyway, Don Gios, you want another one? Enoch 57. Enoch 57. This tells us what causes the firmament to fall. Not fall right away. It's going to fall in... I don't know what that'll look like. The sky's going to roll back like a scroll. And I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know what that'll look like visually. But in Enoch 57... Whoa. Did I just open right to it? No, that's 67. Oh, I thought I opened right to it. Okay. We got to start in 56. There was fallen angels that were buried in the earth for 70 generations, and then they were let off to the abyss of fire. Well, that happens to be the same abyss of... It's beyond... Like, I don't know how it looks, but Enoch said that beyond the abyss was this place where there was 7 stars that were imprisoned. And it was a prison for stars and the host of heaven. And the angels that were from Genesis 6 that came down and took human wives and made giant offspring, they were the ones, they were also sent to that same place, that they were put under chains of darkness until judgment. Well, that's Sheol. That place is Sheol. Sheol, you know, and if you think about it, there's waters above and waters beneath the earth. I don't know how it all looks. Don't just look at the side view, you know, picture that we see of Hebrew cosmology and think that that's the limitation of it. Like that's not really a very good description. It's just, what can you put? Your mind can understand way more than that. So those angels, it says in 56 verse 5, it says, and in those days the angels shall return. So Don Geos, I see you in the chat. Don Hills is I met him on Facebook, but good to see you. I was going to show you here that right in this chapter 56, it says the angels come and they return and they go up to New Jerusalem and tread it underfoot. Watch this. I'm just going to read it. Enoch 56 verse 5. And in those days the angels shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves from their flocks. And they shall go up and tread underfoot the land of his elect ones. And the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor and a highway. But the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses. So let's just say, because we're going to have to go to 57 for me to finish my thought here. But in between, I want to say this. The land of his elect ones is certainly the holy city, New Jerusalem, in the sky. Okay? And it reads just like that. They're going to go up there and tread it underfoot. But did you see that? The city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses. So it's going to go against them. Interesting. But it says in verse 8, it says, in those days Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein. And their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in the presence of the elect. So then the next chapter, 57, it comes right out and just tells us something crazy. Here we go. And it came to pass after this, I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. Noise, guys. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it. And the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day. So let me point out the things that I see there. He saw another host of wagons. I've also read versions of this book that says chariots. But I saw another host of wagons and men riding thereon. So there was men riding on wagons, and they were coming on the winds. So they were flying on chariots or wagons, okay? And it was the noise that their wagons was making that shook the whole heavens. You guys have seen rocket launches and how loud they are. It's the loudest sound that we can make. It's insanely loud. I've never experienced it myself. I don't want to speak like I have. But I know enough people that have. And have had enough people tell me how it shakes your chest, makes it feel like your ribs are going to like vibrate apart from each other or something. From miles and miles away. And it does just shake the whole sky around. I don't know how big of an area. I don't want to say. I don't know. But it's a... Well, let me see if we can watch a video or something. Something to give us an idea of... Yeah, we can. Of the sound. I think I have a video from 8 miles away from a Falcon Heavy launch. So maybe we could watch that just for the sound, so you guys can hear how much from... Well, first of all, we can see how long it takes for the sound to get to the person with the camera. Let me find it here. So let's see, where is it? It's right here somewhere. But I think this is important to understand that this is real. Right here. So this is just someone's home footage. Okay, so we're gonna watch this rocket launch. We're doing this just for the audio. Okay, so here's the beginning of it, I guess. I think they're 8 miles away. So there it's launching. You can see it, but you won't hear it for a long time. 8 miles. I think that's what it was. It takes a while for sound to travel through the air. Quite a while. But I suppose if it has to go 8 miles. But here's the point. They're very far away from this rocket. And you'll start hearing it in a minute here. And it's just a violent noise. People will start cheering too, which is scary, but okay, listen. Okay, so you guys get the idea, right? It shakes the whole sky. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Now, you guys got to understand what that's doing. It's destroying the earth. Because God furnished the whole creation with the 4 winds. That's another story, though. It's in chapter 60, I think. That we have to understand the next thing. Because what did Enoch see? I'll read it. In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch, in that parable I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake. You guys listening? I'll read that again. I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake. And the host of the Most High, okay, the host of the Most High and the angels, 1,000 thousands and 10,000 times 10,000, were disquieted with a great disquiet. Did you guys hear that? This is just something Enoch saw. And this happens to be a particular day that I believe we're probably getting close to. And I'm going to keep reading. They were disquieted with a great disquiet, and the head of days sat on the throne of his glory. And the angels and righteous stood around him, and a great trembling seized me. and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of the heaven. That's the sky, you guys. There's no denying that. The heaven is the sky, okay? And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits had prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared. For the elect a covenant, for the sinners an inquisition. When the punishment of the Lord of spirits shall rest upon them, it shall rest in order that the punishment of the Lord of spirits may not come in vain. And it shall slay the children with their mothers, and the children with their fathers. Afterward the judgment shall take place according to his mercy and his patience. So I don't know what all that means, but all I'm saying is this sound, the prophets heard this sound, because they described it. It shakes the whole heavens. And the reason why I am playing this is because there's a lot of people that think rockets are CGI, and I wish they wouldn't. Whoops, I'm hitting buttons I shouldn't. I wish they wouldn't, but I don't think it's like a matter of it isn't a matter of like I'm right, you're wrong thing. It's actually that the sky is going to roll up like a scroll, and the prophets showed us how it happens. Okay? It's important information. The stars are going to fall, and the prophets told us specifically what is going to make it fall. And it had men riding on it, and it was coming on the four winds, and Enoch called it wagons, and it was the noise that they made that moved the pillars of the earth out of their place. Oh, have you guys heard about Starship or whatever? You know, to go to Mars? Yeah, that thing's huge. Let's see. I'll have to show you guys that in another video, though. I'm getting tired. So let's see. We'll get rid of this. I'm not in my astronaut suit anymore. Oh, I guess I am. Kinda. Maybe I just have to get it a little bit lower. There we go. How's that? That looks pretty good. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. And, yeah. Don't be involved in your mind in this place of darkness. Don't do it. Get away from it, because destruction comes. It's a curse. And we happen to be the people that happen to be living in that generation that was born into a deceived way of living, and it's wickedness, unrighteous. The same things that people were doing that were trying to build the Tower of Babel. It's Nimrod, or King Nimrod. Same people. Same spirits, I should say. Fallen angels. Alright, guys. Thank you for hanging out. I didn't actually pay attention to the chat as much as I was planning on it, but thank you guys all for coming. I just thought it would be fun to do this. Have a good space-free mind. Do it. Come out of her, my people.